Okay, and we are live. Hello, everyone. If you're going to be looking at the show afterwards, later this evening or tomorrow, good morning, good evening. How are you? This is Queen of Ari'ze TV, Ari'ze Network. Um, I am Ari'ze Women Network. I'm going to kind of change the name so more people will feel more part of the network. It's for everyone. Even though, you see women, Ari'ze Women Network, it is for men and for women. We have a lot to unpack, a lot to share. I've got a lot of information I like to share with you guys. It's really going to be on and popping on this particular podcast. So please share and like. And I'm going to see you on the other side. Good evening. We got Mocha Sistah in the house. Hello, honey. How are you today? Thank you for joining me, honey. We got so much to share. It's a lot going on, a lot to unpack. And we're going to talk about Angela, too. I'm going to do this 30-second countdown, and then I will see you guys in a bit. Just hold on tight. See you in a few seconds. Okay, and here we go. Yeah. Okay, thank you guys for joining me. This is Queen of Ari'ze Women Network, and hello, Jackie. My niece Jacqueline Kimball is in the house. She made it to Rise Women Network. We got Pam, we've got Jackie. Hey, ladies, we've got a lot to uncover today, honey. We've got a lot to uncover. There's a lot going on, a lot happening. First, we're going to talk about this clean house. Let's talk about Angela and the Oscars. Angela Bassett, bless her heart. I didn't look at the Oscars, so forgive me for that. I must say that. I did not watch the Oscars, so I want you ladies to give me your opinion of what occurred. From what I understand, Angela Bassett did not win the Best Supporting Actress Award. We're going to talk about that, and we're going to talk about what is the meaning of the age of Aquarius. Because, baby, I have some good news for you. There's some good things happening. We are in a whole nother dimension. We're in the age of Aquarius. And what is the age of Aquarius? We'll talk about that in a few seconds. For now, we're going to talk about Angela. Yeah. Mocha, you mean you didn't watch the Oscars? My Emmy network friend, my friend who loved the movies and the shows, the music shows and Oscars and stuff, you didn't catch it, huh? Well, honey, I heard that Angela Bassett did not win. And is there backlash going on? Because I can bring you in the studio, Mocha, if you like to, if you want to just put your picture up there. I can send you that link again. But yeah, um, I'm gonna paste this link right here in the comments section. All you have to do is click on it if you want to come in and if you want to see a few things about the Oscars, or if you just want to talk about what we're talking about today, which is the age of Aquarius. We just got out of the age of Pisces. I'm not into astrology, but I'm learning more. Pisces was a little more laid back environment. Uh, all stuff has hit the fan, baby. California is flooding. California was known for wildfires and they were in a drought, and all of a sudden, baby, the stuff that hit the fan in California is flooded, and I am not smiling about it. I'm not happy about it because I have a nephew who lives in California. But I talked to him and he is fine, thank God. Thank God he is fine. Mocha, here's the link right here in the chat. And here, I'll go ahead and send it to you on Facebook too. Let me go over here to Facebook really quick and send Mocha the link. And then that way you can catch it. I'm gonna put it right here. It's go to your messenger and it should be right there. Hold on a second. Yeah. So yeah, I just sent it to Messenger. So go on over to Messenger and you can pull that in. And baby, I'm telling you now, there is hope. First of all, I must say, there is hope, but people need help. There's a lot going on where people are not feeling good about what's going on in the environment. But you know what? This brother, his name is Pharaoh Ramses. I'm gonna briefly show his what he talked about because it made me feel a whole lot better. Because sometimes you sit back and you're like, okay, what's really going on? Everything is just crazy from coast to coast. The weather is crazy. And Jacqueline says prayers for California. Yep. I also miss the Oscars, and cool Oscars, Emmy, all that. I used to be all into that because I'm a playwright. I wrote plays in Chicago theater, taught theater and after school matter programs. So I know all about the arts and I love it. But baby, I'm in a whole nother area now. We shit finna hit the fan, as they say. And I'm sorry to curse, baby, but it's finna get real out here in these YouTube streets and in the world. Stuff finna get real. And I'm gonna bring Mocha Sistah in. Mocha is she's part of the Rise Woman Network, a very good friend of mine from way back when Chicago. And here she goes.
Good evening,
Hey,
everyone.
Mocha.
Hey.
Hey, girl. Oh, you got your cute cat glasses on. I love it, baby.
Ooh,
I love it. Oh, God. It's so much going on, girl. Where do we begin?
I don't know. I was talking with a family member yesterday, and she's like, "Ooh, it's a lot going on." I said, "Relevation. This is the Bible." I know a lot of people don't want to go that deep,
Hello.
but the way I
That's it?
look, I think this has been in motion for a while, and we're just now seeing what people have been planning from the previous administration. People were doing things in secret,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know if you know what's going down in Florida. You sure? I'm sure you do.
No, I haven't heard about Florida.
Florida has a new bill. It's called HB 999. This bill is deemed to get rid of basically any organizations that are of anyone of color. No, they want to. They have a bill. This bill will be voted on May 9th, and they are trying to defunct and dismantle my organization and a lot of Greek organizations. Now, I'm in a non-Greek organization called Sigma Alpha Iota.
Okay.
It's a music fraternity for women. It's not black, it's not white, it's just women that are artists, that sing, that perform, right? But they have all these fraternities and sororities that are black, that are Latin organizations that are maybe diverse. And the DeSantis wants to get rid of all of that.
What? That government
If you go on TikTok and just Google HB 999, you will see a list of the actual organizations they're targeting. Pretty much anything that is diverse or inclusion, they want to get rid of in the state of Florida.
See, this is what really kind of like you touched on it. We in we all in the Bible now. We biblical for real. The Bible is the only written word that actually fulfills its own prophecy, and we're in Revelations now. Back in the day, they took the Bible and books away because they didn't want us to read. Now you can see now why. Now DeSantis is trying to take out our history being told in school. So it's kind of like they want to take the books away from us again, but what's happening is Mother Nature, the universe, ain't having it.
That's why people down there are going to be protesting. And I mean, if you look at the dismantling of TikTok, that's a whole nother separate subject. Supposedly is about national security. But what I think is about, and I could be wrong, is about people being free to learn and be educated. Because my timeline, my For You page is filled up with historians, people talking about documentaries, and I follow quite a bit of lawmakers so I can learn what's going on at the White House. I don't follow just people I know. I follow people from North Carolina and New York and other locations. We're being educated. We're being educated in some ways on TikTok. I don't have negative experiences, but that's not everybody's experience. But I'm also on a private page.
Yeah, I think pretty much it's the young people that's being hurt, and they know that. They're not really worried about us. I mean, they more so attacking the young people, and they're because the young people, a lot of them, they don't have the network that we have. I heard
they having a network now, and if they shut it down, these young people, I mean, I've seen some amazing young people questioning lawmakers. I mean, my heart was filled up. I was like, y'all go. These young people are smart. They're not dumb.
Good. That's great. Because that's what it's about when we heal ourselves through, learning about our history and learning about our environment, learning about our health and the foods and things that we should be eating. And that's number one, is what we ingesting. It's really a lot of poison, to be honest. And I'm learning that when I don't eat a lot of meat, because I notice, I know I post my breakfasts and stuff like that. But I notice when I don't eat, and this morning I said, I'm gonna do, and I thought about you, I'm gonna do the, what do you call it, meatless Mondays. I'm gonna try it. And guess what? I got my butt up and start doing stuff. It's something with that meat where it kind of like slowed me down. And I'm like, okay.
It does. I mean, I have, a love-hate relationship with meat. I realize because of my blood type, I do have to have some meat in my diet. I can't be fully vegan. But when I do eat meatless, it's really good for my body. And on a personal note, I have not had certain problems because I removed stuff like, I don't do yogurt that much. I don't do a lot of dairy that much. And I used to have some issues, like, some serious issues that went on. and it's
Really?
not there no more. And I also don't have any leg cramps anymore. It's been a year since I had leg cramps.
You know,
And
that's that gout stuff. That gout is from the meat. And I noticed that my hands and stuff starting to swell because I like sausage. And like you said, I'm a meat person too. I'm not going to totally go vegan because when I stopped eating everything, and really I stopped eating everything, and my doctor was like, you're going to fall down if you don't eat. Because I thought I would just
right,
not
right.
eat nothing. But, I have to have that protein like with beef and stuff. But yeah, but the gout and the swelling of the hands and the feet, that's not good. So that's when you know you need to cut out certain things. But
Most,
this all
yeah,
goes
most
into
definitely.
tapping into our higher consciousness. And that's where we're at. And the meaning of the age of Aquarius is to change in more creativity and in technology. And as we can
Yeah, it's the
see with
technology, but I know I wanted to touch on something you said earlier. It's like, for me, I don't know about you. I love technology, but I'm also finding myself pulling back from consuming so much.
Mhm.
Like on Facebook, I don't really go into like my Facebook like I used to be, like on there all day. You already know I used to be on there all
Right.
day.
Oh yeah, I don't yeah.
I
I,
don't do that anymore. I just pop in and out. And I also,
mhm.
I'm not fighting battles with people.
Yeah. Yeah.
There are so many people so toxic and ready to argue with you over nothing, or they'll just pop on your live or your
Mhm.
live stream or your post, and they will change
Right.
the comment to fit their narrative, which I feel like if you have a page, you should do that on your own.
Right, right.
If I'm
Thank you
not talking
for
about Joe Biden and I'm talking about Martin Lawrence, can we just stay on topic? And I know I'm not wrong. People will hijack
right.
your comment and then they get mad because the only time they pop up on your page is to bring
To
some.
deflect.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like flip. I call it flipping the script, but it's like, what are you doing? And I'm not going to argue with people. I'm not
Right.
going
And
back
I've
and
done
forth.
that
My
too.
piece, my piece is my piece. I'm gonna have my piece. Okay.
Right. I've even done that. And thank you, Queen Jacqueline. She says she's still here. She says she's taking in a lot. She's listening. But I've even done that on your page and other people's page. I had to kind of catch myself, and I'm like, okay, do I want somebody coming to my page, like kind of deflecting what I'm talking about? So we kind of learn manners on social media too. We learn, to adapt and learn that people could disagree and still be friends. You know,
Right, and that's what I've learned as well. Because I have some friends that got some real powerful opinions, and I'm okay with that. Like, the whole Chris Rock, Will Smith situation, and the the new
yeah,
thing.
the yeah
Everybody went crazy. I'm like, just,
the
I
Chris.
mean,
I don't
I'm a
know.
fan of both of the men. I don't have problem with Chris at all. He's a comedian. However, I did not like that he did say the B word about Jada. But
Yeah,
I understand he's hurt, so it might be a mixture of him being totally, pissed off.
right. And I could say, that ties into the Oscars because I'm the one who really didn't like what Chris Rock did as far as slapping. I mean, what Will Smith did. As far as some people think it was fake. I don't think it was fake. Nobody's gonna throw away their career. Now, word is that he did a sacrifice. He sacrificed his
I
career.
heard
Now,
about that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So if you had a choice between sacrificing your family and your career, I probably would have did my career too. I'm not finna sacrifice none of my loved ones, baby. Those are ones that's gonna be willing me and taking me to the grocery store and bringing me a cup of water. I'm just saying, I don't know. It's a
I just
whole
have so
crazy
many
thing.
thoughts about him and his wife. One being, and it goes back to technology. We don't have to say everything online. We have to keep some things to ourselves. And I think when she started doing that show, the Red Table Talk, I stopped watching it because for me, I feel like I didn't want to know all that about my favorite star. I don't want to know about all their issues at
Hello.
home, and I had heard from people close to me that Will has another life, and
Mhm.
that's been talked about. But I don't think is I don't know. when he and her sat down and talked about the entanglement, I was so upset.
Yeah.
Looking at him, and I felt like he was demoralized. That is just my personal opinion.
Yes. That was
Even if they have an
horrible.
open situation, it wasn't so open that he didn't know she had an entanglement.
Mhm. Yeah, I really didn't wanna hear all of that. I didn't wanna hear how, because I really don't like
It's too
the
much
way that she
information.
talks
I
to
don't need
him.
to know about their life like that. I like to see y'all on the screen. Just
Right. We didn't have to
entertain me.
hear
I don't want
about
to know that.
yeah, we didn't have to hear about even on the red table when she talked about how her mother taught her, her grandmother taught her how to please pleasure herself.
That
Okay,
was too much.
look, we don't need to know. Hello, we're just interested in your
Ain't no way I'm
movies
be
and
sitting
stuff
up there
like
talking
that.
to my mom like that, and we doing a show. No way. My mom is a very secret, very private woman, and there's certain things I will not talk about at all
And
on social
and she
media.
demasculated Will, even with Will right now with his career. I think it's pretty much in the tank. That's personally, he just did Emancipation, and I don't even think it got very many. Nobody's really talking about it. But I think she probably demasculated him. But on the flip coin, is that Jada is the reason why he even won that Oscar, and that they started including more Black people. Because remember,
Right,
he went on strike
right.
a few years ago. So
Yeah.
what Chris Rock did was he kind of shut down her. Uh, the time she was supposed to shine, he shut it down, talking about she's GI Jane, and he went too far with that. He shouldn't have did it. So,
I'm
but it
still
goes.
confused about that whole aspect of. I wanted to know, did he write that joke or was it given to him? This is a scripted show, and I'm wondering, did he actually write that? We are assuming that he did, but
I don't think he wrote it. I
I
believe
don't think he
it was
wrote it,
set up.
but he didn't have to say it. Now,
Yeah,
maybe
that was.
he got around not saying it, but he was on the clock. I don't know how big his paycheck was. I don't know, but
Honey, that I'm gonna tell you now, because I see. Of course, we're gonna talk about the third eye, because the older I get, I've got more in tune to looking at things not as they are, and I see past things. I can see past people. I have dreams, and going into what's going on in the environment with the flooding and stuff. I saw all of that. My son can tell you. I have been telling him for like 3 months. I keep having these dreams about all these water currents and
mm,
flooding and things like that. But I know that, that for instance, Jada pretty much, she is trying to, she's trying to build up Black people to get Oscars and stuff like that. But behind the scenes, they said, we're gonna teach you a lesson. And I believe that's when they gave Chris that joke to tell about her. That was like a slap in the face. We're gonna teach you a lesson. You trying to include your people in our stuff, knowing very well the Oscar is named after the black he's a Black filmmaker in the 1900s, Oscar Devereaux. He's a Black
mm.
filmmaker. This is who the Oscars is based on. But
Well,
they
they
want
trying
to
to make it like
exclude
it
him.
ain't because we saw what happened. I didn't look at the Oscars for a reason. I read an article. One of my friends had hit me up and sent me an article. It
Uh-huh.
broke down 4 different people who voted for the Oscars. Actual one was a writer, one was a producer, one was a marketer, and one was like another type of position in entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
And all the comments that they made about people of color, Viola Davis, they were complaining about her voice. Okay, this has nothing to do with acting, is what I'm thinking. Then the other
Oh.
person complained about Angela said she did good. And even the young lady that did Till, she just did a good job. It was nothing extraordinary about her performance in Till. And then they talked about Brian Tyree Henry from Chicago. Go ahead, Brian. He was in the movie Causeway. And they just like downplayed, what he did. And I was like, and then they basically made excuses for voting for certain people like Jamie Lee Curtis and other people. I knew my certain people were going to win, like Michelle Yeoh, the young man from Everything that long movie. You know which movie? Everything,
Right.
everything, everything, everywhere at once.
Mhm.
I knew he was going to win, but the comments that were made in this anonymous article, they didn't list the people's names, obviously.
Mhm.
Like opened my eyes, and after I read that, I feel
Mhm.
like a lot of it was racist. It was targeted commentary, downplaying the black talent, basically. And I said, wow. I said, you know what? I'm not going to waste my time because I know my blood pressure, trying to keep it down. So I said,
Right.
no, don't waste your time. There are other things I wanted to look at,
Mhm.
and I chose not to participate in looking at the Oscars at all.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah, and this is kind of where I'm at, because my last podcast I talked about how, of course, you could make the mirror images between the Bible and now. Back then, they were worshiping Baal, whatever, the gold calf, the stars, as in the celebrity stars, but they were worshiping the stars in the sky. They were worshiping the gold. People worship money, the fame and fortune, so it's like we're repeating ourselves. So we're getting a pat on the hand and on the backside by God, Maya, whoever you want to call them, Jehovah, ISIS, whatever. We're getting a pat on the backside, saying, you know what, they're saying we're not gonna let you guys do this again. Here comes the flood. Okay, you ain't learned your lesson. You want to chase the idols, which is the Oscars and the images. That's why Angela. I'm gonna tell you, if Angela Bassett ever see my podcast, this happened for a reason, dear. You did not need to win that Oscar because Angela has a higher calling. If you saw Wakanda Forever, that just came out, she
Oh,
had a
I did not see it,
power.
but I
Oh my
do
God,
I do have Disney, so I just been
girl,
taking my time. I know I'm a little behind on the movie,
it's
so I'm
giving me
going to watch
shivers
it this
thinking about
weekend.
it. When
Um,
you see it, you're gonna be like,
because I know how I feel about Chadwick. I was like, you gotta wait a while. I just gotta prepare myself
I'm
because
glad I didn't spoil it for you. I will say one thing, which it'll just spoil it a little bit. It's like there's a scene in there that's what's happening now with the flooding.
mm,
And then Angela acted her hiney off, baby.
well,
When
I
she
seen a
said,
lot of
"Have
clips,
you know,
and
like
I
in the
knew she was
trailer."
gonna be amazing. I just
Yeah,
knew it.
yeah. And so
Um,
with that though, she's past that. I know spiritually, there's something in her she's supposed to be doing. Okay, she did the acting that's good.
I want to
Sorry,
see her directing point blank.
yeah, directing
If
something.
that's
There's
in
a
her
higher
spirit, I
calling.
think she would be great as a director. Just like Viola, if did her
Yeah.
project with the Woman King, I think that I would love to see her go into the director's chair.
Mhm.
She's fabulous. All that
She could go
hateration they
into
try to
like
put on our queen, saying that she moved
yeah.
faces and all that. Look,
Yes. I
we
mean,
are
she could go
human.
into a
We're
whole
human
thing.
and she's human. And she probably was like, what?
Yeah,
I
she
don't think
probably
she
now
did
she
nothing wrong by not standing up. She don't got to stand up. Who's she stand up for?
yeah, it's gonna hurt for a while because I would be hurt if I was her. She's been acting, playing major roles since 19, but I'm telling you now, she got a couple of strikes against her. She married a black man, unfortunately, and I'm saying that this is how Hollywood is thinking, not me. I love
Mm-hmm.
my black brothers, baby. Uh, she married a black man, and she probably never sat on the couch or laid on the couch, if you know what I'm
You
saying.
know
She
she
probably
didn't.
said,
She's
"Excuse
got
me."
character and she ain't doing none of that. Mm-mm.
She probably said, "If you don't get your." So you know what? But that's okay. She's got a higher calling. We got to get past our trauma and the past. This is our season of healing. And this brother, I'm gonna share this screen. Um, there's a brother named Pharaoh said that. I know you probably know him too, Pam. But he's got. I hope I don't get in trouble for this. But he did a video and he talked about what's happening, what happened with. Okay, I don't know if you know, but there are some UFO sightings.
Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah, I remember that. Yep.
yeah, and he's gonna talk about for a few seconds how this plays into black people. Okay, because it's some stuff going on in the environment. I'm telling you now, we got help, baby. We have help from the ancestors. We got help from the angels. Somebody is helping us because we've been hurt. We've been wounded. Our ancestors have toiled this land, baby, and they won't even try to give us no reparations. But listen to this brother real quick. This brother is deep, and I'm gonna play just a few seconds of it. But when I heard it this morning, I almost want to cry. Just listen to this really quick. Here we go.
God said, I could eat all kind of abominations. Cool. Now the man making your food, what do he say? Man, I don't care nothing about God. I'm going to mix whatever I want in here. Both of y'all slacking. So now there ain't no pressure on the food manufacturer because your stomach big. You a glutton. You know, I see these righteous gluttons, these overweight Hebrew Israelites, these overweight Muslims. I see them. They really believe that their stomach is godly. With all that trash in their stomach, it's like.
So he's talking about the diet now. He's not fat shaming. He's talking about what we
No,
eat.
no, and
It's
it's in the
hurting us.
Bible. It's in the Bible that your body is supposed to be your temple.
Yes.
So I get what he's saying. I get what he's saying.
Meshach, and Abednego. You heard about those three Hebrew boys? Remember when they was telling King Nebuchadnezzar, we don't want to eat your food. We good with the vegetables. And they threw him in a fiery furnace. And they looked in there. It was like, well, it's four men in there. One was Jesus. Amen.
Mhm.
Or whoever you want to call him, Jehovah. We have someone who is there for us, people. Please don't give up. Okay, listen to what this brother said.
Like, bro, you a trash can. How you represent Jehovah? Use a trash can. You won't be satisfied till you ate every bird on the planet, every sheep on the planet, every lamb on the planet. You will eat it. Because all you're doing is promoting slavery.
So I'm gonna go to this
diabetes.
part.
Why they don't tell you?
Win this 2023 Jeep Gladiator along with $30,000 cash.
Get to the
This
part
Jeep
that
is
I want you to hear.
The Christian church got so many sick people.
We didn't talk about the food. Okay.
When you get sick, go eat it. Go get a 5-piece chicken. Don't change.
Okay, now see, that's the only thing about him. I'm gonna get off of this because only thing about he gets on a tangent. Let me hold on a second. Let me go back. Oh, okay. Yeah,
He's right when he talks
right,
about the church.
right. He's
Um,
right. Yeah, he kind of gets on a tangent, but he was talking about the UFOs. How every time something like major happens to Black people, there's a UFO sighting. Those are, and people know that the spirit is still alive. So guess what? Your angels and your ancestors are spiritually helping us. For instance, I have a brother-in-law. He just came out of surgery, and it was kind of tough. It was kind of touch and go, and we started praying for him, and he's okay. And that's what we have
amen.
to do for our people. We gotta pray for people. We are spiritual warriors. We are high priestesses. We are goddesses, and we don't know it.
We also got to pray for our enemies, frenemies, and anyone that even though you might have a personal feeling of like I don't want to be bothered with that person, you need to pray for everyone that you encounter because
Mhm.
you just have
People are
to.
Yeah,
So,
people are really hurting. Yeah, some people have been taught to be a certain way, and I get it. But yeah, but me personally, I ain't praying for nobody that kill up their family. Like
oh
what's that
no,
guy?
well,
What's the
no,
dude that killed his?
no, I don't know
You
if I would
know,
take it that
I
far. I
ain't
mean,
trying to. You know, I mean, forgive me, Lord. I know, but when I get there, y'all, I explain to y'all. up in
I would
heaven,
have to pray.
right?
I mean, I got a lot of love for anybody that have lost a family member to someone in a serious situation, and they get up there, do that impactment statement, and they basically say, "I forgive you." I don't know if I got that in me, but maybe at that time God will be
Okay.
working on me a little bit better and saying, I don't want you to harbor that hatred, because if you
Yeah.
have that energy, it will filter your whole body and your being, and it could drag
Mhm.
you down. So for me, I don't
Yeah,
want that to drag me down. I'm just trying to be as healthy as possible. On the
that's right.
on the
That's
point of church, there are so many sick people in church. It is very true.
mhm.
Um,
It's the food and it's too, trying to live two lives. Because I've been a church member.
mhm,
I know about, going to church one way and then coming out and living another way. And then I know about going to church and really living right.
right.
But and it seemed like you still get persecuted or you get sick. You still get sick. That's part of, God did never say we wouldn't get sick. But yeah, people are so hard on people in the church, but they're just people like everybody else.
Yeah, they're
Uh,
just like people, so you gotta grant them grace, and if they do something that you don't particularly care about, like backbiting, gossiping, acting
right.
funny,
Mhm.
just
So now the age of Aquarius with what we're this brother here, I'm gonna share this screen. He broke it down. Really, it's deep, but it occurred December the 21st, 2022. It happened last year. We're in a whole nother dimension. If you notice, you can feel the shift. Even in politics, it's like real quiet. It's quiet. It's a few little things going on, but the people that thought they had control of this world, they really don't. God is in control. And even with the wars that you see, or the fake wars, because some of those images and videos are old, it's a lot of fake news. That's one thing I can agree about our former president said. That's one thing I agree.
woo,
When he would say fake news, it's a lot of fake news out there.
there's definitely a lot of fake news. You're right.
Yeah. But this brother here, I'm finna share it really quick, and I got it off Instagram. It's really deep, but he's telling the truth. So let me turn this music off really quick first so you can hear it. Okay. Now here we go. Let's see, where am I? I'm here. Okay. So 2020 is really 2012, the end of an era. It's like the calendar is all off. So he's gonna explain it. And here we go. Let me hold on a second. Oh, sorry.
Gregorian calendar, it's 2022, but on the proper timed calendar, it's 2014. What that would mean is that 2012 would have been what we called here in America 2020, right? I find it so fascinating because I remember back in 2012, they told us that December 12th, I mean, December 21st, 2012 was going to be the end of the world. Fast forward, December 21st, 2020 was supposedly the end of the Piscean age and the beginning of the Aquarian age. Now, according to the international calendar or the Ethiopian calendar, this year, in the Gregorian calendar, it's 2022, but on the proper timed calendar, it's 2014.
Okay. So what he was saying is that, for instance, the age of Aquarius began December 21st of 2020. Um, well, 2022 last year. So we're in the age of Aquarius, which is water currents. Because Aquarius is the water astrology symbol, and the technology is up there. Creativity is up there. And I'm gonna tell you now, if you listen to some of the YouTube videos that have the frequencies like 432, 528, and 900, and I think 63, those are healing. I'm telling you now, I actually got healed listening to music. and you
Oh
have to get
yeah.
away from that
Hmm.
social, like you said, the social media, and get into the music and the healing. Technology is healing us, Pam. Did you know that music? you know,
Well,
what
I've
are your
always
thoughts on
used
that?
music as a tool for self care and healing. I usually listen to some jazz or something along that line. But during the pandemic, I listened to soundscapes. I was big into soundscapes,
Yes.
and when I got stressed, I would just and I'm doing. It'll probably be weird to some people, but the soundscapes that are like walking on the beach, and you can
Uh-huh.
walk with it, like you can put it in your head and just go to the gym or somewhere, or in your house, just walk around. Um, I used to listen to it a lot, and I found like the videos on like Amazon Prime, and you know I
Yeah.
I I in the morning on TikTok, I actually, when
Mhm.
I'm going down my For You page, I'm looking at live streams from you know Hawaii or some other part of the country, and it's usually natural terrain. And
Mhm.
we have to start utilizing the technology for good,
Thank
and
you. There
have a
you go.
balance for taking in the toxic stuff that we take in, people arguing
Mhm.
and all that stuff. But the music, hip
Mhm.
you guys to this guy. His name is October London. He
Okay.
sounds like Marvin Gaye. He is the new Marvin Gaye. He did a album
Wow.
called The Rebirth of Marvin. And who record company do you think he owned?
Don't say Sony. Who?
Mm-mm. He
Motown?
is he is on Snoop Dogg's Doggy Records or whatever. And
Oh.
this young man has a phenomenal voice. You start hearing him, and it's got that good soul that we've been missing.
Oh, I
He got
love
that
it.
good soul that we've been missing. You could put on his whole album, you'd be like, oh man, hey, it's nice, it's smooth. He has a beautiful voice, nice
That's
tone.
wonderful. What's
Yeah,
he
his name
there?
is October London. And
October 9th.
I
He's
said,
on
I'm
the
gonna
so
download
that's
the
the Death
album.
Row. He on the Death Row record because that's
No, I think
oh
it's Doggy Records. I forgot
oh
the
Doggy. Oh, okay. Well, see there. Now we can't judge Snoop Dogg. See, he be doing some stuff.
okay.
Yeah. And we have to learn how to build up and tear down in the spirit. Some things need to come down in the spiritual realm that we're doing either to with our body as far as eating or the wrong thing or like you said hating on somebody, the haterism, competing. All of that is it's demonic, jealousy, it's all demonic. The competition. I notice on social media people, post all these positive things and stuff. And, it's okay to post positive things, but don't be in competition with people
I just
on,
don't.
on their
I actually
page.
don't have no energy for it. Like I have no
Yeah.
energy for going back and forth with people, and then it's almost like God be speaking to me. I know it's Him that's pulling me back from going in the opposite direction with Him. These people and their demonic spirits, and when I
Mhm.
feel like a certain way, like somebody might come in my inbox and say something, and I'm like, Pam, don't respond. You can actually click that thing and says mute conversation. And then you
Oh,
can come
yeah.
back when you want to. See,
I've done it.
maybe
Yeah.
it's because I'm almost 55. Maybe it's because I just don't feel like going there with people. Like,
Yeah.
and God is like teaching me how to navigate, sometimes
Mhm.
just to
Yeah. The
say,
older you get, you kind of, you don't have as much patience for
I don't
trivial
got no
things.
patience these days. And
Yeah.
my mental is like, you need to just be calm and just
Mhm.
don't go there because honestly, some people are just trying to trigger you. Some of them are narcissistic. Some of them
Yeah.
want
Oh,
something.
Lord.
They want
You said it.
that good spirit that you have, and they want to bring it down to their
Mhm.
level.
You
And
said it. you said the narcissists are the ones too, and we have them in our family. We know friends or whatever that are narcissists, and those are people that they see something in you, and so they want to tear you down because they don't have it in them, and everything has to be right, or they way or the highway. Those people can really drain you. I know personally.
They're energy drainers, and if you allow them to drain you, they will gladly drain you. So just
Mhm.
um, what's my girl say? Pack light. Don't pack their bags.
Pack
Erica
light.
Badu was talking about those bags. Okay, pack light. No, don't take their bags. Okay,
Right.
don't
And
grab
be
onto those bags. Okay.
and be more conscious that we wrestle not with flesh and blood. It's not the person, it's the spirituality. I mean, it's the the dark places, the lower vibrations that are within that person, that are coming from those high places, I say low places, that are trying to drain you, pull you back from your purpose. You may write a book or something, and they may say, "Oh, well, what you writing that for? Don't nobody even read. Black folks don't read." I hate to hear that, because yes, we do read. I still read. I have old magazines from Essence, and different, and books about Maya Angelou. I still read those things.
Girl, I buy books on a
Yes.
weekly basis. I mean, I got quite a
Yes.
few books, and I read regular books, and I also read like ebooks and things of that
Mhm.
nature, medical books. I have a big medical book that's like a nutritional, healthy book that you can just look up stuff. I'm not a doctor, but I'm
Mhm.
curious, and so I keep
Mhm.
stuff like that around. Um,
Right.
and it's also a way for me to like make sure that I keep my eyes open on
Mhm.
a lot of different
Right.
things.
Right. So I was gonna originally I had titled my live stream, "Something Happened to Me Weird the Other Day," and I want to share with everybody, so I'm just gonna briefly share that. I won't say weird. It was a what they said nominal, something that a supernatural thing. It happens a lot, but I didn't really notice this until it happened, and I was like, "What?" Because okay, where I live, particularly my apartment, I'm close by like the highway, sorta, so I could see everything. I can see when people driving and they texting, and that be scared a little bit. I'd be like, I start praying for people. But yeah, I could pretty much see everything. So there's a pothole in the street, and it's on, where I noticed the cars kept running into it, and they would go over it, or they would go around it. But the cars, it's getting deeper and deeper, and then there's like a split. And it's like right by my building. So I said, I think I'm gonna call my rental office, and I'm gonna tell them they need to call the city and have them to come fill this pothole because it's getting bigger and bigger. And I'm like,
Mm-mm.
I ain't trying to see the earth down like it down there, like the ground. So, do you know, Pam, as soon as I turned my head, did something, I was going to pick up the phone, that pothole was filled. Somebody came and
Wow,
filled it
that's
like
crazy.
that,
What? God and movement right there.
girl, and it wasn't even wet, which means it was filled, but it wasn't filled by a human, because you when they fill it, you could see the tar. You know how
Right.
the tar looks slick? It was dry. I wanted to take
Wow.
a picture of it, but I didn't, because sometimes that's what the angels, or the ancestors, whatever, or God will do. He will just stop you from. He don't want you to share everything, and I just didn't take a picture of it. I can, but some just say, just cool out. It's done. So that helped. Hopefully that saved somebody from not having an accident. But I'm
Right.
telling you now, baby, the word of God says to call those things as though, where you say to this mountain, mountain move, and it will move. It will move. You know. That's how our ancestors made it. You know that old spiritual song, how I got over, how I got over. we our ancestors made it. They got over through the angels, the ancestors, and God, or whoever you want to call it, Jehovah, Jesus, whoever you want to call it. But it wasn't just them. So we're not alone. So
Right.
we do have help. And
Right.
that was my message for today. There is help out there. Things may look a little hard out there. There's a lot going on, but baby, we got help. And we're going to be okay. Like
We'll be
Kendrick
okay.
Lamar
We
said,
just
we're
gotta
going to
keep
be all
ourselves,
right.
keep ourselves focused on what God wants us to be focused on. And,
Yes.
even if it's just like a 5 minute prayer, in
Mhm.
the beginning of your day, or
Yeah.
whenever you feel something coming up that you want to be focused on. I got a little part of my closet that's a prayer center. It's like, I have like a little cushion there, and I have my little stuff, my little
Oh,
prayer box, and
oh,
I
you
got my
got a little
little
shrine.
physical sayings and stuff. I put it in my big closet because I felt like that was one of the first things I need to do when I moved in here, because I feel so blessed to have what I have, but also I want to stay focused on where God wants to drive me. Like, I feel like
Yes.
the more I stay in tune with Him, the better things are anyway. Um,
Yes.
so yeah, prayer and meditation is important, y'all. Go ahead and get that
Mhm.
what's that Tai Chi little video, get you a little
Yeah,
meditation video, and
right.
do meditation. Like, I
Mhm.
mean, it really helps.
Even if it's 15 minutes a day,
Right.
15 minutes a day, 10 minutes, go within yourself, pray for others. And that's what's going to heal our land. That's what's going to heal our communities because everything else has not worked.
Mm.
We had the Black Panthers, the real Black Panthers that, they had the guns, all of that. We had all kind of help that people that tried to help us and it didn't work. All of our leaders, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, hundreds of leaders that they took out, and that didn't, God rest their souls, So we got to know it's coming supernaturally. The flooding in California. Let's think back with the flooding, and not that I don't want nothing bad to happen to anybody. But remember when Katrina happened? And people were like, when Kanye West got on that award show, he was like, "Yeah, the president don't care about black people." People were like, "Oh no, he didn't say that."
You just said it out
Hello,
loud. That's all.
but don't you see the people? Did you see the people on the roof though? Look, waving flags, come help
My
us.
family members, some of my family members from New Orleans, had to leave that area and ended up in like Atlanta and other places, Texas, and um,
I tell
one of
you,
my cousins, she just moved back to Louisiana after all this time. She was
really,
in Atlanta, and she moved back to Louisiana. So it was very terrible, and a lot of my online friends that used to be in Louisiana ended up in Mississippi, and
wow, just
they were
spread
in New
everywhere.
Orleans at the time, and all that went on. So yeah, it
I
was
don't think it ever got repaired, or I don't know if they rebuilt the levees or whatever. But yeah, you have to be really careful who you look down on because you could be in that same position.
well, just because
People,
we're in the Midwest
mhm,
doesn't mean anything won't happen. I've been saying for a while that people need to be prepared for something. And I know my family think I'm crazy because I'm a prepper, but
mhm.
I do keep extra things in my house just in case I get broke, and
Yes,
I have an overflow of things.
water, yes,
Dry goods, beans. Come on, y'all.
yeah.
Come on.
Please be prepared. I tell you, because like you said, it's really hitting coastal. It's not
It's
just,
hitting very close. I
you
mean,
know,
I make decent money, but one day I could wake up and my money could be gone out of the bank like those people over in California, with
Silicon
that
Valley.
bank situation.
Yeah. I was just telling my son yesterday, I said, you know what, take out a little money because I'm telling you now, may go to the ATM and it say there's nothing there because with technology can fail us too. People have to know that.
Yeah, I
Oh, we
was
got
thinking about
Tony in the
switching my
house.
stuff over. Hey, Tony, I was thinking about switching
Hey.
some of my stuff over to a credit union. To be honest, I feel a little bit better having it in there. I'm with the
Mhm.
regular bank right now, and I'm like, things looking a little shaky.
Yeah. Hey,
So
Tony. How you doing? And we got
Hey,
Jackie. She says, such great guidance and advice, ladies, on all topics. Some things I had no idea. Thank you all for sharing. And thank you
you're
for
welcome. Thank
listening.
you for listening and tuning in.
Oh, and she said, this is real talk and reality right here. Amen. I tell you,
Amen.
God put it on my heart and stuff. A lot of times, we have the cares of our own lives. And just about a few weeks ago, I was just laying in bed. I'm like, am I sitting here just to suffer? What the hell? I start feeling sorry for myself because there's a lot of things that people don't know that you're going through. You
Oh
know,
yeah, girl, yeah.
was I
That's
just sit
very
here and
true.
suffer? I don't want to be here. But I'm like, nah, that's not just it. We're here for other people. Actually, we could have been the ones that God was like, whatever, who want to go down there? Okay, I'll go. But we like, oh, we want to come back. But you know what? We're here for a reason. We're
Right.
here to help people.
But
I'm
yeah,
putting on.
I think with the debt ceiling over our head,
Uh-oh, sorry about that. Hold on a second. Sorry about that, Pam.
with the debt ceiling over our head, we need to be conscious that we need to make sure we have our ducks in a row. And people
Yeah.
that have student loans, don't wait around for the Supreme Court. You better start stacking money to get ready to pay for
Yes.
those bills, because I don't know what they're going to do. And we'll know by
Mhm,
June what's going to happen, but just
mhm.
don't assume.
By June, what's happening in June?
The debt ceiling has to be
Oh,
dealt with. The United States
oh.
doesn't has run out of money, and Congress has to decide how they're going to help, how the United States is going to pay its bills.
Now
That's the debt
every year
ceiling.
they do this though. This is what we got to remember what some things that Baba Dick Gregory told us. Bless his soul. He Dick Gregory toward the end. He was a little off the rails, but he was telling us. He said it's all a game. It's a game, and I told my son that. My son remember he said, "Yeah, I remember you told me, Dick Gregory, it's all a game, baby." Every year they say the debt ceiling is this way, and toward in
Well,
December,
this will be
we're
the
running.
first time in 100 years if it's not paid.
But they can not print money. They can digits. We're working with technology. Oh, he just sent what $2 billion over Biden to Ukraine. They sending all this money over to Ukraine, baby. They gonna come up with the money. The debt ceiling is all fake
Let's not assume
news.
anything. I'm erring on the side of caution. I don't assume that they're going to be able to do anything. And I have family members that I have to look out for as well, that
Mhm,
rely on Medicare and rely on Social
mhm,
Security. So
mhm,
I kind of feel like, it would be shocking if it happened, but I wouldn't be
mhm.
shocked if it happened, because we have Republican led House. Am I wrong? House, or the because
Uh-huh.
we right, and right now things are looking shaky with the things that they pushing through. Are they going to
Uh-huh.
hoop and holler up there? Or are they going to do right by the American people?
Right. Yeah,
I have low trust for these people, very low, because I don't see anything but them pushing their own agendas through, and getting upset because we want student loans to be given back to the people that were promised.
girl, I was looking forward to that
But
little student
I'm
loan money,
looking for it because it
because
will reduce a lot. But if I have to
yeah,
go and do a bankruptcy, so be it.
it would raise our credit scores up. But you know what? It's all a game. They really don't want our credit scores up there. Then we're gonna buy all the stuff that they can buy. It's all a game. I mean, even like it's kind of ridiculous that he hasn't approved the loan for, us and the young people that really,
It's
are
not on him.
struggling.
It's not on
Yeah.
him. It's on the Supreme Court at this point. The
Okay.
Supreme Court has to make the decision. It has nothing to do with Biden at this point. The
The
lawsuits
Supreme.
that people in other states did is what's messing us up, not Biden.
So
This is not
why
this is
hasn't
not
the
about Biden at this point. He approved certain amount of us. Unfortunately, you have federal cases that went against this. One man, he decided to do a lawsuit against the White House over the fact that he can't get 20,000. He only qualifies for 10,000. And so he took a case against the United States over that. And there's also another, there are 6 Republican states that came together and decided that they didn't want the student loans to be forgiven. So that's why the Supreme Court has the case, and we got to wait to see what they said by June.
Yeah, and see, that's how you know that this world, because I was a little bit confused. I'm like, why are people so mean and evil? But some people are from a whole nother cloth and they're evil. Anytime you don't want to forgive student loan for
But you
young
had
people,
PPP loans during the pandemic. Let me shut up. Come on now.
yeah,
Come on.
okay, yeah, you got millions of dollars, for instance,
Who's
let's talk
paying for the
about the
PPP
airline.
loans?
The airlines got bailed out and had millions of dollars from the PPP, but yet here, people were stuck at the airport and they didn't even want to give them the money back for having to rent a hotel because their flights were canceled. So it's like, go figure. We have people that I think are look, I call them test tube babies because remember years ago they were talking about test tube babies. Some of these people must be test tubes, baby. They're not humans because there's no humanity there.
Oh, they
There's
got
no love.
humanity for children. That's why they dismantled Roe versus Wade. But
Mhm.
they want to strip down social programs that can help mothers because trust and believe, because now in certain states, people that don't have the protection or don't have access, because I know all the Walgreens will not be selling any
Oh
abortion
yeah.
pills.
Oh yeah.
And
Uh,
and
Well,
if you have a medical emergency, a medical ectopic pregnancy, that's not somebody that just wants to kill a child. That's the one who's having a medical emergency and they can't even get the pill. So you supposed to be bleed out in the bed? Like I'm
yeah, that
I don't
that I don't
understand.
like.
These are not humans. They just have a human body. They might be the
Mhm.
clones from one of those sci-fi shows we used to look back at
The
in the day.
the
I don't know who
Vulcans,
these people
yeah,
are.
right, like from Star Trek or something, where because yeah,
They're
it's just not
aliens.
right.
Some of them act like they're aliens, like they don't have any kind of
Mm. Yeah,
mindfulness of
yeah.
what's going to happen if. I mean, I'm speaking as a woman who had to take youth to clinics to get birth control and other
Mhm.
things that they had to do because they didn't have nobody to go to. What's going to happen to all these young girls that might get molested by somebody in the church or somebody in their family and they get pregnant? What's going
Well,
to
I
happen to
think
those individuals?
yeah, every situation is different because you know, personally speaking, there's some things that happened to me when I was younger, whatever, and I can speak from both points. Is that if it's just something that you just want to do because you don't want to be bothered with a child, that's not right,
No,
and that
I
you
know
will be
plenty of
held
people who did
accountable.
that.
But then there are some people that like you say, either raped or something like that, or it's a medical reason. Yeah. But people on the other side, that's a person, people don't want to have to use their money to fund the Medicare or whatever that is going to pay for that abortion because their religion speaks against it. So,
Well,
you know,
I will say this part. When I first heard about Roe versus Wade, I said, you know what? In a way, that's good, Pam, because young ladies and young men, now you have to be intentional about who you've been messing with or who you're going to bring in your life. If you get involved with
Mhm.
somebody, you can't just be like, well, because there's responsibility and there's accountability.
Right.
You're going to be accountable now. We won't see you on paternity court saying, I don't know who the daddy is, or I don't know if that's the woman. No, you got to know at this point. You have to know, and you can't make any excuses.
Exactly,
No.
exactly. So, yeah, we talked about a whole range of subjects, man. This was a good podcast. I really enjoy you, Mocha. You the best girl. Me and Mocha used to hang out at Jazz and Java on 35th
Oh
and
boy,
King
been the
Drive in
old days.
Chicago. We used to lay down poetry with the likes of what's his name?
Malik
Malik
Youssef and Jay
Malik
Ivy.
Yosef,
Jay Ivy won a
J.
Grammy
Ivy.
Come on now.
So, and then Mocha is a publisher. She's written a few books. I've written a book of poetry. So, you got some poets in the house, but we want more people part of the Rise Woman Network. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button. Definitely, if you want to be on the next podcast, let me know. I'll invite you in and we can talk and share. And this has been really nice. Thank you, Jackie. That's my niece,
Thank
Jacqueline
you, Jackie,
Kimball.
for
I'm gonna get
tuning
her on
in, and
here one
Tony.
day. And Tony, where you at, Tony? I'm gonna pull your little comment up, but I appreciate people coming to support the network because there's some big things I want to do. I want to do a webinar series for the young people, teaching them how to publish, like we have, teaching them how to start their own podcast, how to do DIYs. I just did a DIY on a backboard for my bed, and I'm telling you now, the ancestors are giving us the creativity to do some things that we didn't think we could do. It's about
Absolutely.
recycling. The environment. It's a lot of low supplies, so you're gonna have to learn how to recycle and make things and just try to save the environment.
Most
By not.
definitely. Well, I appreciate you having me on.
Yes.
I guess I'll figure out my dinner tonight. I'm trying to figure
I'm
something out.
sorry. Look, I know we talk on and on and on, but I enjoyed this. So thank you
You're
again,
welcome.
Mocha.
Thank you for having
You
me.
be
Everyone have a
blessed.
wonderful night.
You too. Take care.
Bye.
Bye bye. And thank everyone for joining us. This has been really great. We hope that we have inspired someone to, if you want to do your own podcast, let me know. I can show you how. It's about helping others, uh, not getting depressed because, like I said, our angels and our ancestors, baby, they got this. They got this down here, honey. We good. That's what a message I want to tell y'all. We good. Like Kendrick Lamar said. Uh, what was that? He said in his song, and when you wake up, it's gonna be all right. Great show, Jacqueline Kimball says you all gave me some homework to do. I absolutely enjoy you too. Thank you, Jackie. Mwah, mwah. I love you, niece. That's my favorite niece. I hate to say that. I hate when people say favorite, but my niece has a heart of gold. Ever since she was a little girl, she had this beautiful smile that will warm you up, and she still has it. And she's a grown woman with her own family and kids and husband. Thank you for joining me, Jackie. Jackie has her own not YouTube, her own Facebook group called Diamonds in the Rough. Check her out on Facebook. And also Pam, a Mocha Sistah, has Mocha Sistah, a day in the life of Mocha Sistah on YouTube. She has her own YouTube channel. Thank you guys for joining me. And Tony Williams, he has a speaker.com music podcast. So thank you guys for supporting me. Thank you for coming on and just listening to us. Be inspired. Don't give up. Don't give in. Don't be depressed. Talk about whatever you got that's bothering you and know that the ancestors and the angels got us. We good, y'all. And so I'm going to ask you to keep coming back, keep sharing and liking our videos. If you'd like to join the Rise Network, hit me up on Facebook or Instagram. And thank you, and you be blessed. Join us on the Rise Women Network, where our special guests will be speaking about economics, gentrification, colorism, film reviews, health and wellness, reparations, celebrity news, and entrepreneurship. Thank you, and be sure to tune in.